Now let's focus on the basic data types in Python. So Python has several built-in data types. We'll be focusing on numbers or numeric that are numeric in nature, for example, int, float, or complex. Then you have string data types. In this case, you are dealing with text data. Then you have booleans. In other words, these are like true and false. So let's start with the numeric data types. Numeric data types are of three kinds: int, float, complex. Int, they basically are your whole numbers. For example, 10, -4, 7, 89. In other words, there is no decimal number over here. Float, on the other hand, they have decimal numbers. For example, 10.5. That's your numeric data. That's your float variable. -54.789, 3.567. So these are all your float variables. On the other hand, you have complex numbers. Complex numbers, they're written like this: 3 plus 4j minus 1 plus 2j. So one of the characteristics of complex numbers is that they have this presence of the word j. So some of you who come from engineering background will recognize this complex number. We will be primarily focusing on int and float. So integers, they have no decimal part. So the way you define integers is like this: a equal to 10, b equal to -5, and c equal to 0. And I'm printing ABC, and I'm printing type of a. So in this case, the type of a comes out to be integer right here. So I could have actually printed out, oops, let me just, so sorry. Yeah, I could have printed out type of b, and that will give me still, let me come here, type of b, that will still give me integer, because type of a is int, type of b is int, and type of c is also int. Let's look at the floating number. So in this case, I have a decimal number, 99.99, and temperature is -12.5. So I print the price, and I'm printing type of one of the variable. In this case, I'm printing the type of this temperature, and it should be no surprise to you that it is a float. And the print price comes out to be 99.99. Okay, what about complex number? So in this case, this is a complex number. I'm defining like this, printing the complex number. I'm also printing the type. So you can see that prints out the complex number, and it prints out the type as complex. Okay, and then you have strings. So strings are used to store text information. Generally, strings are written inside quotes. You can either use single quote or double quote. So for example, if I say message equal to double quote, hello Python, and end with a double quote, this is a string. I can also define my string like this with single quote, start with a single quote. Students are excited. Students are excited. So this is another. These are two different strings. And over here, I'm just using single quote. Mind you, that if you use a single quote over here, you have to end with a single quote. Same thing over here. If you use a double quote, you have to end with a double quote. So in this case, I'm printing the message, I'm printing the name, and I'm also printing the type of message. That would be type of this, and it prints out str, which is a short for string. I could have printed out the type of name over here. I could have put name. It will give me same str. Then you have booleans. Booleans, they represent true or false. These are, they only can have two values. Be aware that in true T is capital and in false F is capital, and generally they're used in conditions. So for example, in this case, I'm defining a boolean variable: is Python easy equal to true, is raining equal to false, and then I'm printing the first one right here. So you can see that it prints out is Python easy as true, and type of that variable is boolean. Same thing with this variable. I'm printing that variable. I'm also printing its type. So it prints out the variable value false, and it prints out the type.